Hello there. It's a bit of weird experience that somehow before I press the record button, I know what I'm going to be talking about. Alright? The moment I do it, press it. A couple of days ago I made a post, I think yesterday, the day before. Everything I do or say is a reflection of an autistic mind, autistic brain. Now, one of the reasons I do things the way I do, rather unusual, blah blah. I don't know. It's like the thing when I say I don't know is because I'm not sure it's working. Because the thing is, to give you a raw idea, raw version, raw portrayal of how it works. So, not hiding things, trying not to disguise. This to give you raw idea, raw vision or version of how it works. Chaotic. Now, when I say chaotic, that's as I've made a post a few days ago. That's the thing. Autism itself isn't chaotic, but when you say autism spectrum disorder, that's the problem where when you just say autism, it's nothing. It's nothing on its own. That's why it is. How many other spectrum disorders you know of? Because here so many kind of odd words used, but whatever. Disorders get together and become a spectrum. So autism on its own is incomplete. You're not seeing the big picture or the whole picture. You're seeing just a bit of it, and all you know is autism. It's a bit confusing in this case as well, because the thing I'm going to be talking about, it's always confusing why people see we're going to, because there you are, is very commonly spoken about, known or heard about, as compared to the others, very uncommonly known, spoken, heard about disorders. That's the irony. We're going to be talking about them as well. But this one is ADHD. So when you say autism and you don't mention that's the thing again. ADHD is not autism. ADHD is ASD, autism spectrum disorder. Autism on its own is just autism. Make any sense? I'm trying to. I don't know if it is. So meanwhile, I'm trying to help you clarify in your head, work it out in your head. What is what? So now I'm trying to get to it. Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. Now, so to say, I'm cheating a bit, because I'm right in front of me is my laptop. I could have done it without revealing it. Thing is, it gets a bit mixed up and confusing when you talk about things, because like I said, now studying about a few other disorders which were supposed to be part of ASD, but they're not, as it is per the official DSM. Some are part of it, some are not part of it, and as well as the labels keep shuffling, juggling, luggling, buggling, dougling. On words, they're going to be dictionaries soon. That's a problem. All over the place. This disorder, that disorder, not that disorder. It's not. I'm going to be talking about one of them that is not a disorder anymore. La la la. So this creates. As I said in one of my previous videos, that's the thing. I tried to study it when I found out about it. It was 15 years ago, and I couldn't get anywhere. I didn't get nowhere, and it was really, really confusing. Irony is, today when I'm rereading those articles or redoing my research and stuff and seeing the same as ever complicated and confusing. Terms are constantly being shuffled and juggled. Shuffled and juggled. Constantly and taken off, put it back, taken off. Research is still ongoing. Ironically, the most common source, now I'll say like one of the top best sources that I could refer to here as is, and in UK most commonly referred to source for all information, statistics and data is a local organization here. Somehow most commonly referred to source, only that but they say that how many people are autistics in the UK has been the same for as long as I know, last 3, 4, 5 years at least to say. It's been the same. Now that number, don't even know if that number includes, because those organizations don't deal with adults. So does that number include adults? Because the organization deals with children. They have their own setup, so-called, la la la. So that's all over the place. See what I mean? Only referred to source. So there's no facts. There's no absolute kind of facts. I'm not sure I'm one of them. Despite being officially diagnosed, I'm not sure. That's the irony. Because I got diagnosed, I got the certificate, la la la. Am I in the list? I don't know. La di da. So this is when you go for official sources and they confuse you. And like I said, even today when I do my research, it's confusing. It's all over the place. Despite research started in 80s, 40 years now, it's all over the place. To date, it's all over. So what? The reason why I said I made my notes of points and stuff from Wikipedia. And then what I'm gonna do, based on those notes, I'm gonna be reflecting. I'm gonna be telling things as much as possible, as realistically as possible. Attention deficit, hyperactivity disorder. I wasn't as active yesterday because I was struggling. Our wife wasn't home most of the day. I had to be on my own. With her, there's a bit of calmness in me somehow. Bless her. At times it does become a bit too much, but that's the irony, is when she's not here, it's emptiness. Whew, touchy stuff. I was struggling with it. I was feeling a bit hyper. Ironic now. I went out. Okay, it's just one of those moments where I do things because I'm hyper. Otherwise, I'm on my laptop. I'm doing research. When I'm feeling that thing, and I'm going around and do things. So I did a bit of gardening, cutting, chopping, cleaning, la la la, and here and there, few things I did, and then I knocked myself out. I was exhausted, and then last night I went to sleep early, even though woke up, but woke up a bit late. The balance. So I was able to let it out somehow. Because that's the thing, when you're in that mode, at times it's not even easy to work out how to let it out, what to do. It could be mental, it could be physical. You want to do things, yeah, that's how you feel. I'm doing that. That's the thing. Yeah. I'll be talking to my wife and I'll be doing this and I'll be distracting her, and I can't help it. Because it helps me think, stem. So hyperactivity. Disorder, because it comes and goes. It comes and goes, and it's like not always, like I said, you have a channel or let out. You just don't know what to do to let it out. And it's not exactly like something that leads to anxiety or anxiety attack. It's just madness. I'm not sure. Still the moon effect. Because of that and few other reasons, there's a deficit or lack or a lack of attention. Now I use that. I built my instinct about something when I've been to something like, is it worth it or not? It's like dramas and films. First 5 seconds, nah, didn't do it. Maximum attention. I'll say it to you as for I see regular video conferences, webinars. Now it's got new world of conferences and stuff all online and la la la. They'll be talking about me while I'll be struggling to consider them myself. Like 10 minutes, I want to listen to them, I just can't. 10 minutes is maximum attention because then I'm getting anxious. Then it makes me do things that you. So that's the thing. 5 seconds, 10 seconds. Okay, I'll still see. 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. 10 minutes is it because then my system is reacting. That's it, mate. That's it. I can't take it anymore. You know what I mean, mate? Bugger off. That's the problem. Attention deficit. I can't. Lack of attention. It's got to be very, very indulging. It's like I love watching Attenborough. Oh wow. Except when he goes on and on about climate change stuff because I'm not there for that. But I love his stuff. Same goes with any dramas, films and stuff. It depends. So that's attention. Unless it's indulging, it's really like it gets to attention. It's done. It's like very well done. Otherwise you can't. As compared to people who just can sit there, they won't even have to yawn. They can just sit there, People like me can't. The system reacts. Attention deficit. Now I'm gonna touch another word here because I keep hitting myself and saying, oh, rather a bit heavy word. And before that, there's another word that's a bit, which is, as they say, a mental disorder. Okay. Of the neurodevelopmental. Neurodevelopmental. What? Type. Neurons, nervous system, they're all kind of roughly the same. Brain, neurology. You know that thing inside? Developmental, for when it develops, when you're a child, when it develops, it's developing. To be honest, it's always developing, but then when it's taking its roots, its foundation, its structures, developmental. So a mental disorder. Now this is mental as well. Disorder of neurodevelopmental type. For mental disorder, the thing when it grows is growing stages. Not matured stage, growing stage. Developmental, still developing. That's when it starts developing and develops till it's matured. So that's when it takes place. That's when it comes out. It's when you see the signs. Because normally you're used to the signs of children walking, crawling, walking, talking, at normal age, which what you see as norm, the norm. But when you see a child is behaving different to the norm, so you see the signs because it's developing, it's showing the signs, how the brain works, or how is the brain working, how is this kid's brain working. You see the signs of a mental disorder of neurodevelopmental type. Because mental disorders could be of multiple types. Characterized by difficulty paying attention, excessive activity, and acting without regards to consequences. As I said, attention problem. Unless it's very, very involving, indulging and stuff, stimulating. excessive activity or something you do it too much, you love it. Oh, spend hours doing that. Otherwise, that's the thing. Even in autistic's case, but even if they don't have ADHD, things could be excessive. That's where the thing is overlapping layers. That's where it becomes a spectrum disorder. So because now I'm going to be using the word, it's going to come up soon, ADD. Now the only thing less is HD. There's no hyperactivity. Now it could be misinterpreted. I've seen some cases where it could be misinterpreted as like people are a bit too much into something and then suddenly they go lazy. It's like, I know the ADD I know is people who are static. They don't have hyperactivity situation. Now these things are not de facto as they're saying, no, I'm not representing all autistics. No. They vary. And that variation is where, now that's when I understand why research work is still ongoing and terms are being shuffled and juggled and is because of things are still coming out. More research is coming, more data, more detail and stuff is still coming out. It still hasn't reached the maturity stage. So in this case, that's the thing. So it could be ADD, the only thing, it's no more there, ADD. It's something else now we'll be getting to. But that's the thing, ADD is more like people who are, they could be static for hours, for whole day. As compared to HD, hyperactivity, they're just running around and doing this and this, and their body is constantly vibrant, constantly active, animated. Now the fact that the condition was officially known as Attention Deficit Disorder, ADD, from 80 to 87. Surprisingly, didn't last too long. While before that, it was known as hyperkinetic reaction of childhood, la-di-da. It's just like, I'm not sure. Too many terms, like I said, so I don't want to get into it. Then a headache. It's like they're confused during the 80s. They even confuse autism with childhood schizophrenia. Now we come to the thing, signs and symptoms. I think you're going to be interested in that because that's where it's going to let you get the idea. Inattention, I struggle with all the time. Now there's the thing, I'll give you an example. I made a post about it as well. For a lot of research, it's apart from all over the places, Wikipedia to begin with, then I go here and there. Mostly rest is all copy pasted, to be honest. It's a struggle to read it. It's a struggle. At times, so many kind of articles that are so technical, so, I mean, I'm not sure you've seen this. I posted some screenshots of my laptop. At times, to work out one word, I have to open, so many tabs, I have to look so many, and even one sentence, I have to look 5 words up, and those 5 words could have sub 5 links, tabs, tap. I just restarted my laptop a couple of days ago forcefully. Went slow and updates and this and that. And when I had to open my Chrome browser again, it's like there was 5 browsers. I think one of them had about 100 tabs. Oh my words. But that's the thing. I have to know the meaning of those words. Because they're so technical, I have to understand, and especially they're not put in a way that you can understand straight away. You have to look now, just like I said, a mental disorder of neurodevelopmental type. I don't know, I have to understand what mental is here. Disorder, what exactly you mean by disorder? Of what? I have to know those things. And it took me back to the school, academic era, where I used to struggle with all that. Because that's the way I understood things. I can't memorize things. Even now I thought to memorize all this, but I couldn't. I thought I'll do it without blah, 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 but I had to do it like I have to cheat. So the thing is, like, I struggle with this the way I used to struggle in that era, and it was reflection of an inattentiveness, inattention. Yeah, sorry, what? I feel for those children. Tell me about it. But adults, I know the way. So the problem here is it reminded me of so many of those things. So much of reflection was there. You're like, oh my, that's what it was, inattention. As compared to, I remember there was teachers who would tell you things like, was it like your grandma telling a story? You'd be like, all who? For me, it's exactly like listening to Attenborough. The way he talks gets swallowed. As compared to some of the teachers, you know, you have to bite them hard. Because you want to be able to digest. And otherwise it messes up your digestion system. So that's how it is. That's why inattentiveness, attention. Hyperactivity, then this is in bracket, restlessness in adults. I can't tell the difference myself. They're both the same to me. Now, in a way, that's the thing, it could connect to restless legs syndrome. Sorry if you heard that. Slight difference. I still have, I'm not sure you've seen those videos, I still have those things that I have to have it. Helps with the blood circulation, keeps it relaxed. As compared to, it's almost like it hurts. So those wraps are just for the sakes, I'll show one to you. Now, I had to have them. So that's restless legs, exactly, syndrome. Keep me calm, cool. Whew. See what I mean? I probably sound a bit like gay, but that's the thing, keep me relaxed. Disruptive behavior. A bit hard to put an example in words because it's all over the place. Constantly interrupting, chaotic, messing around, too much attention needed. Not sure it makes sense. Because that's a variable. That could be different in different people and different depending on the environment and this and that. And impulsivity, oh, I love that. Now, it's kind of funny. In bracket it says, favored by adults. I've known many, I've made a post as well once before, I've known many, it was a post somewhere, and in response to that, many others, I'm one of them. I mean, apart from the fact that I avoid medications, I take them in a way that's as and when needed. They're actually relaxants really. And even then I don't take them as and when needed. I try to, my system is avoid medication. And plus the thing is that you could get a bit too much. You're not long before you know it. That's kind of side effect. So I try not to. It's because like I said yesterday, I was a bit kind of insane mindset. Now I'm gonna get done for saying that. Oh, maniac, it's like you're over the moon, you just don't know what to do. So much, you could end up doing things that you don't. But at times I do it, but calculatively, try to be as calculative, calculative risks. I do take risks, calculatively. At times that's the thing. There's a problem with consequences situation, but that to be as calculative as you could be. So it helps. It was exactly the way I put it. Made a post by taking that clip of the scene from Homeland where when the Carrie, I think her name was, she actually turns out to be having BPD, bipolar disorder. And that's what she does in order to solve the case. She goes off med for a day or two or three and comes back solving the case, because that's the kind of mindset you need. So off meds, insane. But on the other hand, it helps, it's that then you feel alive as compared to suppressed, which is what the medications do to you. Because that's a side effect of those medications. Just like the medication you take for depression, they just flatten you. Sleep mode. And that is disturbing on its own, because for a person with, to say so, ADHD, now it's a bit of conflict, a clash. On one hand, now your system is like wanting it, but your medication is not allowing it to happen, suppression. So it backfires in case, just so you know. In that case, that's I think those who know, and I'm not sure exactly to know, because it's hard if you know, but it's very, very, very calculative mode. And those who know not to take medication, or when not to take medication and stuff, chill, man. Yeah, that's how they become, as if on some kind of drug. Academic difficulties are frequent, as are problems with relationships. Oh man, I mean, academic difficulties, I mentioned it. It used to be very hard. I mean, I still have flashbacks, to be honest. I'm glad it was 20 years ago I finished my academic life. I did my uni. And today I have flashbacks, and today I'm, to date, 20 years later, I'm glad I'm done with that. Because the way it was, oof, I mean, no kidding, it was awful. It wasn't like just the way it could be funny. When I was gone, man, I can't. For me, it's like, now I'm doing it all by myself, and I'm loving it. I was like, it's not easy. I'm loving it by myself, in my own way, as compared to the ways that were imposed on you, and like all those the so-called corporate punishment and shenanigans, punishes and this and that, teachers telling you, oh, la di da. So there you are. So struggle, academic difficulties. But then there's this thing, another something I made a post about. School taught, home taught, self-taught. Because even school taught, normal school taught, or special schools. So this is a kind of decisive moment for many parents, where some want their children, and absolutely makes sense. I've been in touch with many, many mothers, as many fathers. They contacted me about clues and insights and stuff, and from them I realized, I mean, they seem to know what they're doing. My respect, they seem to know what they're doing. But there was, and I can understand the decisiveness and confusion, because they don't want their children to be excluded, that so-called inclusive environment, if they're not many are there. But understandably, they don't want their children, and kind of so to break off the stigma. So they wanted their children to be in those normal schools, not special schools. And that's again something that connects to it, because coming to the ABA, I mean, I'm still very far from getting convinced by ABA, very far. One of the triggers, I'm not going to get into it for now. Kind of funny, when I said it did get to me. I'm trying to undo it now. That trigger, we're going to talk about it later. Their understanding again was mind-blowing, that they know it's not for every autistic child. Now as we even now know that there's a severely autistic and not mildly autistic. mildly autistic as in high functioning, so aka I'm just severely autistic as in low functioning. Confusing terms, interpretations according, how you interpret them. So high functioning ones can talk normal language like me, if that sounds normal, and have a bit of intelligence, or good bit of intelligence, as compared to low. But that's the thing, it's a bit confusing because you can't really say the ones who have a severely autistic or so-called low functioning don't have intelligence or so-called intellectual ability. Because in that case, Stephen Hawking looked the same. Rest in peace. He looked the same kind of thing. Many other examples are out there. I keep seeing them. I can't talk about them because they're not as known. The person on whom the film Rain Man was based, Kim Peek, rest in peace again, just recently died, autistic savant. He looked kind of the way the poster boy image, I would say, of low functioning or severely autistic kids. Adults even do, but that's the thing. He didn't have intellectual. His IQ, autistic savant, man. So this is where these things get confusing. So with some of them, I realize they have the idea like, yeah, A is not for everyone, and they want to. I mean, my huge applaud for them, considering I come from different background. None of this was there. I grew up and totally different experience. Don't want to get there. So huge applaud for their mothers, and huge thing for those kids who have mothers like that, who pay attention as much as they could. Mistakes are always there. But still giving their children as much as possible attention, and not to let them feel discriminated, which could help mess the confidence and whatnot. So they are doing their best not to get them excluded. So in that case now, normal schools versus special schools versus neither schools, home taught. But in that case, I can't talk about self-taught. But there's those confusions, there's those layers, and that's when it goes about academic difficulties. And same as much as problem with relationships, yes, it's there, big time there, but I was gonna say it's not easy in case of people not autistics either, but because considering the way things are in life, an autistic person, things are extra hard, extra lack of ability to communicate, talk about things, connect with people, say social awkwardness, lack of confidence, too self-conscious. These things get in the way of relationships, and relationships could be of all kinds. It's not just finding a boyfriend or girlfriend or partner or wife, husband, stuff. It's also friends, it's also family. Could be, and very common in adult autistics. They have those problems. They are kind of detached from their families. They struggle to communicate because of that constant misunderstanding, misinterpretation going on, being judged, and that hurts a lot because when you're struggling, and additional layers of autistic empathy can't say, because you want to give attention, you want to give love, you want to give friendship, but you don't get that. Instead it backfires, constantly backfires, constant backfire. Shatters you. You constantly additionally struggle with those things. As compared to non-autistics who don't find it that, who don't take things that sensitively, who can let go of things, ignore things, whatever, man. Autistics can't. They can't forget things. They struggle to forget things. They struggle to let go of things. So it happens in all kind of relationships, all. With that being said, I think I'm going to say I was just wondering because it's as it is. I'm doing it raw. I'm going to break it into two parts because it's already been 30 minutes video, 34 so far, and now there's still something to talk about. So I was thinking to do it earlier, but I'm going to do it now. So Part 2 to be continued.